This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto. I'm sure the NBA season started last night. But for us north of the border, you know it really gets going tonight, as the Raps begin their season in Atlanta against the Hawks. And this is actually a big year for the Raptors, for the players on the floor as well as the coaching staff and management. So who better to join us to talk some hoops than our own Kia Nurse? Great to see you, Kia.
Hey, Marissa. It's actually been a really long time.
Okay, Kia, what are realistic expectations for the Raptors this season? Is this a playoff team?
I think it is a playoff team, and that's something that they've spoken about probably internally, but also made it very known in media day. And this is a team where this East is wide open, right? There's so many injuries. There's a lot of uncertainties. I think they've done a great job bringing in Brandon Ingram, and they've had a core here that's been able to work together for the last couple of years. So it's about time in this Toronto Raptors kind of rebuild that these seasons have been in, that they take that next step, and that's getting into the playoffs.
What do you think the fit will look like on the court? Do these pieces all make sense together?
I think the fit is going to make sense as the season goes on. There's going to be a little bit of growing pains here. When you bring in a natural pure scorer like Brandon Ingram, he can play in isolation, right? And so it's going to take some time for the guys to find their spots and which offenses really work for each of them in order to find success. But this is a team that's going to be really long and aggressive on the defensive end. They want to play with a lot of pace. They want to get up and down. And I think ultimately it's going to be a really good decision having Brandon Ingram join this core of Scotty Barnes, Quickly, RJ Barrett, and Jakob Poeltl, because they're going to be able to work together really well.
Kia Nurse, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Over to the ice where the red-hot Montreal Canadiens visit the ice-cold Calgary Flames. And it's been a tough start for the Flames this season. Since their season opening shootout win, they've lost 6 straight in regulation. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a silver lining in their current skid, with the Flames only managing 8 goals over that stretch, and never scoring more than 2 in a game. It's been a particularly tough start for Dustin Wolf. After finishing 2nd in the Calder and 8th in the Vezina last season, he has not been the same guy. Out of 42 goalies that have played in at least 3 games, Wolf ranks 41st in goals against average, and 37th in save percentage. So yeah, it's no surprise their minus 15 goal differential is the worst in the NHL. Now over to the happy side of the ice. And the vibes could not be more different from Montreal. Last week I posted a graphic to bar down, asking if the Habs are the most fun team in the NHL this season. And there were over 300 comments almost unanimously agreeing that yes, they are. And this might be the craziest thing ever, but did the internet actually agree on something? Which is kind of harmonious. Like, I've been beefing in the comments for days, brother. Days. Well, years, yes, but like specifically days on certain posts that I've posted recently. Whatever. You know who you are if I've been beefing with you. You're welcome. And it's been easy to keep the vibes high when you've won 5 of your last 6 games, with 4 of those games being one-score thrillers. And yet the Habs players are having a blast. It basically looks like our television screens have added some over-the-top silly Snapchat filter. No, that's just the state of the Habs right now. In other words, these 2 teams could not be in more opposite places, as they get set to take the ice against each other tonight. Time now for my favorite segment on yours, We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
Now let's head to the hardcore, because who knew you could still be in diapers and handle the ball like this?
Good. All right, come back. Come on, come back. Head up. Good. Come on now, keep your balance and get some speed up to it. There you go. Good. Come on, you got to be able to handle it, son.
Is this a joke? Is this an absolute joke? This is an infant child. What kind of coordination is that? I can't even do. Can you guys do this thing where you put your fingers? Oh yeah, like that. Can you even do that? No, see? What the hell? As mentioned off the top of the show, it's the start of the Raptors season today. So you know we got to bring in our guy Wes Cheng. Great to see you, Wes.
Great to see you, Marissa.
Okay, Wes, from a betting perspective, what intrigues you the most about this Raptors team?
All comes down to fit. Will all these talented pieces come together, complete the puzzle? And there's 2 keys to that, in my opinion. Number 1, will Scotty Barnes accept that he is not the team's primary scorer? If he can figure out that mentality, his assists per game could hit a career high. And that's the greatest strength that he brings, both in transition and in the half court. But the second question to me, will Brandon Ingram be accepted as this team's alpha dog scorer? Where is that ceiling? The Raptors were a 10-22 team in clutch time scenarios, 2nd worst in the NBA last season. BI is absolutely needed in this offense, and I'm very excited to see if he can deliver.
Before the season gets going, are there any late Raps futures you're laying down?
I'll go with Darko Rakovic to win Coach of the Year. This was paying 22-1 on FanDuel not long ago, so that's a good sign. Their win total is 10 games more than their record from last season. And this award is typically given out to the coach of the team that takes the biggest leap year over year. So Hyperbolically speaking, let's say the Raptors win 50 games. That pays plus 580 on FanDuel. Rajakovic would pay out 3x. He would likely be in the conversation for sure. So if there's any bet I like the value you get on that scenario if you want to buy the Raps upside.
Finally, Wes, you know what's coming. We need a best bet for tonight's game.
I'll go with Brandon Ingram to go over his scoring prop. I think the number is set way too low for where it should be. Now, you gotta look, this is the first game of the year, the first week of the season. This is when the books have the least amount of information to work off of. Bia's never even played a regular season game for Toronto, but everything we've seen in preseason suggests he will be their go-to scorer in crunch time, clutch time. So take advantage of this number while it's low.
Wes Cheng, a pleasure as always.
Hey, thanks for having me.
To football, and it's no secret who the laughingstock of the entire NFL is, as the New York Jets are an absolute dumpster fire and the only winless team in the league at 0-7. And it's gotten so bad that even young fans realize what their future holds.
I'll see them and get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
I've seen that clip so many times, and every time it gets me choked up. I feel so badly for that kid. Oh my God, the tears in his eyes. You felt every word of that. But it could be worse, Jets fans. I mean, you could have your owner absolutely obliterating your starting quarterback completely unprompted. Oh wait, that happened too.
It looks like he's turning around parts of it. You know, it's hard when you have a quarterback with, with a rating that we got. You know, I mean, he has the ability, but something just is not jiving. But if you look at any head coach with a quarterback like that, you're going to see similar results if you go across the league. If we can just complete a pass, it would look good. You know, you got to complete some passes. You got to convince them that you can do something. Otherwise, it's hard to have have a game that you could win.
Okay, Grandpa. You know what? That's kind of rude, actually. That's rude. He needs your support right now. And in times like this, I just think of friends of the show like Matthew Shinetti. And if only he had an Interstellar-like moment as a kid when he made that horrendous choice to become a Jets fan.
Well, Marissa, tomorrow is actually the 25th anniversary of when I became a Jets fan, when they beat the Dolphins and they came back in the second half of Monday Night Football. It was the Monday Night Miracle. So given that's an important point in history, if you consider Hugh Everett's multiversal theory and my sadness over years 25 times self-pity over heartbreak 25, if I scream into the TV loud enough when the Jets take on the Bengals this weekend, then if you consider this X and Y axis, if the energy reaches such a point, then the sound times the fury will allow me to reach through the television screen and smack my 14-year-old self right in the head, and that should do nothing. I'm screwed. I hate this team.
Okay, honestly, Shooter, we did not know the timeline of this. We had no idea that you were coming up on your 25th anniversary, which should be a celebratory moment for you, and yet it's not. I'm so sorry. Thank you to Shooter. We'll send you all our positive, warm energy and vibes. Okay, friend? That's it for today. We'll see you picking around with Eastern New Pacific. Have a good one.